Hey, before we get to the real show, I want to show you a special segment with our own Adam Tuchman, who's going to talk about NecronomiCon, which is a special Cthulhu convention, H.P. Lovecraft convention, coming up this month, August, in Providence. Take a look.
Hello. This month, August 22nd to 25th, the Providence will be hosting the NecronomiCon, which is a convention in honor of H.P. Lovecraft and his works. The last time Providence held a convention like that was about the year 2000, which was a rather small convention. This time, it's apparently very big, and it's going to be held in several different venues. The people who are handling it this time are different than the people who handled it the last time. But apparently, they didn't think it would be as big as it did. But in honor of the convention, I am showing off a bit more of my Lovecraft memorabilia. The first thing you see is 3 small items from the artist M.F. Jones, which I got from Arkham Bazaar. First is a Cthulhu tiki. Tiki are those small idols you see in Hawaiian-themed restaurants. Well, this is a Cthulhu version of it. In between the small thing is a Cthulhu paperweight, and it isn't really very heavy, so I'm not quite sure how much paper you expect to put under it, but it's more decorative. Next to it is a night gaunt, and this is one of these messenger creatures, and it's perched on a tombstone with a picture of Cthulhu. You see a book called Clifford, the Big Red God, and this is based on one of Lovecraft's stories set in Innsmouth and the god Dagon. This is written by Kenneth Haidt, who had done some previous Lovecraft-themed kid books, and the artist is Anita Hoop. And next to that is a Cthulhu bobblehead, which was made exclusively for Comic-Con 2011. And I haven't taken it out of the box, but it's a Cthulhu bobblehead. Finally, there are 2 Cthulhu statues. And the bronze one is by Joe Brown, who's the artist, and it's resin. They're both made of resin, and this one is developed based on a description that Lovecraft did in one of his works. This Cthulhu has 6 eyes, 3 on each side. Most of the statues that are made usually have him with 2 eyes. And Lovecraft even made a sketch of it, and that's how the artist developed the sketch. The one next to it is more of a Art Deco feel. Unfortunately, I do not recall the name of the artist or where I got it. But I like to have Cthulhu statues looking a bit different from each other. Some of the ones I've seen on the web are too close to other ones that they seem to be redundant. But I like this one because it's more Art Deco. Now, if you're going to be in Providence late August, I do recommend that you stop in at the Necronomicon. They do have one-day passes, so you don't have to spend all 4 days there if you don't wish to or you don't have the time. But they should have plenty of Cthulhu and Lovecraft-related collectibles. There's going to be movies, there's going to be lectures, there's going to be a walking tour of Lovecraft's old neighborhood, and he had written some of his stories mentioning some of the houses in his area, and people who like Lovecraft and horror should have a pretty good time. Thank you.
Welcome to the latest edition of Sci-Fi Journal. This one is for August 2013. This show is presented by the Rhode Island Science Fiction Club. I'm Marc Morisseau. Also hosting the show today are Calvin Watts III.
Hello.
James Hinsey.
Hey.
And Jay Kingston.
Yo.
That was a big yo, 2 microphone yos. Okay. We're going to show you different segments from ConnectiCon because we are at ConnectiCon 2013 in Hartford, Connecticut, which is pretty cool. 2 cars, no problems, all set. You can see in the background is the dealer's room, all these people milling about, lots of costumes and such. We have a lot of interviews, things we're going to show you, but we're going to start off with our regular segments and the one we like to talk about, movies, called Popcorn Previews. Take it away, Jay.
All right, thank you very much, Mark. First up, we've got Carrie. This is, I think, like the third remake now
Yes.
of Carrie. This one stars Chloe Grace Moretz and Julianne Moore, and the release date is October 18th of this year, and no rating has yet been given, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say rated R.
I would say so.
So it's, I mean, you know the story of Carrie, the young girl who develops psychic powers and has really bad problems with her mother, and one thing leads to another, and the fun ensues.
Likes to play with matches.
Likes to play with matches, yes. So let's take a look at that.
Brightly beams our Father's mercy from his lighthouse evermore. But to us he gives the keeping of the lights above.
Pick you up after school.
The other kids, they think I'm weird.
Carrie, favorite poem? Did you bring one?
I don't want to be. I want to be normal.
Wipe that smile off your face.
I have to try and be a whole person before it's too late.
Help this little girl see the sin of her days and ways. If she'd made innocent, the curse of blood would
Mama,
have
it's not even in the Bible. It doesn't say that anywhere.
Go to your closet and pray.
No. Pray. No! Mama!
You pray, little girl. You pray for forgiveness.
Let me go! If I concentrate hard enough, I can make things move. There are other people out there like me who can do what I can do.
You know the devil never dies. Keeps coming back. You gotta keep killing him.
No!
Prom is next week. You don't have a date already. Maybe you want to go with me.
Mama, I've been asked to prom.
No. They're gonna laugh at you. They're all gonna laugh at you.
Mama, stop it.
If the two of you are planning some kind of joke on a poor, lonely girl,
your king and queen are...
Now, this movie's been delayed for a while, so it's going to be interesting to see just how it all plays out. But it looks interesting.
It looks interesting. Yes.
Okay, next we've got Percy Jackson, Sea of Monsters. And this one stars Logan Lerman. And, well, it's the same cast that was in Percy Jackson, Lightning Thief. And this time around, Percy and his friends have to locate the Golden Fleece of fame and myth and all that. Now, the release date on this one
Hope you don't have any allergies.
I hope so, too. This one is showing as this show airs. August 7th is the release date. It's rated PG. And it's based on the very popular series of Percy Jackson books for young adults.
Yep.
So
Rick
let's take a
Riordan.
look at that.
I learned that the gods of Olympus are real. And sometimes they have children with humans called half-bloods. We're pretty much like anyone else you'd meet, but with a few notable differences. We live in the only place that is safe for our kind. Until now. What is that?
Go inside to the Oracle.
Percy. Kronos, a force so evil, 3 of his sons, Zeus, Hades, and Poseidon, destroyed him. He's fated to rise again, to exact his vengeance on Olympus and the world.
The only thing that has the power to save our home is the Golden Fleece. It's in the Sea of Monsters, what the humans call the Bermuda Triangle. Our quest calls for only our finest hero, the best of us, the daughter of the god of war, Clarice!
Don't worry about always coming in second, Jackson.
You know, everything they say about you is wrong, Clarice. You actually do have a sense of humor.
This is a bad idea.
You don't even know what I was gonna say.
You were going to say that you're going after the fleece.
Actually, he was going to say we were.
Chariot of Damnation.
Looks like a New York City cab.
Same difference.
The exact date, please.
That was awesome!
We will resurrect Kronos, and the Olympians will know death.
Percy!
We really need your help, and we don't have a lot of time.
You twist the cap off this, you release the winds from the 4 corners of the world.
Whoa, no, not in here!
Not in here.
We'll find the fleece.
So time to go. Tell me those aren't sharks.
Those aren't sharks.
I think that's very interesting because this is one of the first movies that was only moderately successful here in the U.S., but the overseas market and home video market really kind of pushed it over the top. So that's why you're seeing a sequel, because normally you wouldn't have seen the light of day on a sequel like this, depending on how bad the box office take was. So it's impressive to see it actually came out with one, and it'll be interesting to see how it does.
And I think Rick Gordon just finished maybe the last Percy Jackson book. I think it's, yeah. So his series may be done. We'll see if they'll make more, though.
Okay. Next, we have Riddick, starring Vin Diesel, Carl Urban, and Jodie Mala. And this one is rated R. And it's kind of, Mark and I were discussing this, it looks like it's coming full circle as far as the Riddick movies are concerned. It's like he's back on the same planet that the first Pitch Black was on. And, of course, this one is going to be rated R. The release date is September 6th of this year. And this time around, Riddick has to avoid bounty hunters. And so that's why we think he goes to ground on the same planet as we just said it, Pitch Black. I can't think today. But he's got to play hero and try to get away from the bad guys too at the same time. So let's have a look at that.
Don't know how many times I've been crossed off the list and left for dead. So this ain't nothing new. Bounty hunters.
I've been hunting Riddick for 10 years. He's the most dangerous man we've ever tracked. The bounty's been doubled.
I've come to collect your head in a box, right here!
So yet again, we play for blood.
This is a man who sees in the dark. So watch out for surprise attacks.
What is it?
One down. 3 down. You get where I'm going with this.
Again!
What is happening?
Time's up.
Yeah, let's cut him loose.
You're not afraid of the dark, are you?
I mean, yeah, it's pure speculation on my part whether or not the planet that he's on is the pitch black planet. But I do know that Carl Urban's reprising his role as, I think it was Varco or something from the Chronicles. So I know that's going to tie in at some point. So it's an educated guess, but I'm pretty sure that he's on the pitch black planet.
Right.
So
Yeah, I saw images of the creatures that either they've evolved slightly or, but it's sort of the similar vein.
Yeah. I like that movie, Pitch Black. I've got it on VHS at home. And I still watch it too.
You're really dating yourself.
I am. What?
You're really
VHS.
you're dating yourself.
All right.
Okay, and last but not least, this month we've got Gravity, starring Sandra Bullock and George Clooney. It's the story of a really catastrophic type of incident that happens aboard the International Space Station and a shuttlecraft, and Sandra Bullock and George Clooney end up marooned in space, and it's what they have to do to survive, and the special effects look really good.
Yeah, and George Clooney is single again, so who knows what might happen in space while they're up there.
Well, this is just it. So, let's take a look at that footage.
Beautiful, don't you think?
What?
The sunrise. Terrific.
I'm spinning! Can't breathe! What do I do? What do I do?
That one reminds me. Gravity reminds me a lot of either, was it Marooned?
Yep.
Or there was one that was, they were stuck in orbit and David Jansen, I think, comes to rescue them or something like that.
Okay.
Versus the other one where James Caan winds up on the moon.
Yes.
There's two from the 60s or something that had that sort of same vein.
Absolutely. So that's our offerings for this month's Sci-Fi Journal and popcorn previews. Now we're moving right on into coverage of ConnectiCon. So let's take a look.
All right, ConnectiCon 2013. We're with Jeremy. Hi, Jeremy.
Hi.
Okay, and he's got this awesome steampunk Green Lantern costume. Now, how long did it take for you to put this together?
This would be the second set of wings that I have. My first set were built by someone else, so I backwards engineered my own set, working with some other things, and I'd say a total of about 5 weeks worth of continuous work.
Nice. I forgot to ask you, I'm sorry, where are you from?
I'm from Massachusetts, northern Massachusetts.
Okay, good. All right. And how long did it take to put all this together?
5 weeks, you said? No, that's just to build the wings.
That's just the wings, all right.
5 weeks to build the wings. Everything else is, I bought the leather from another company. All my leather bought from someone else because I don't do leather work.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely refuse to do leather work.
Yep.
But everything else that isn't leather work was either built by me, 3D printed by me, and all the electricals I wired myself, which you can't.
Which glow in the dark, but we're outside, but that's
outside,
okay.
So you can't see any of the glow.
Right.
And I think they might have died.
You've got little switches and stuff.
Yeah,
Now,
re-engineered an old 1940s rail lantern
Yep.
to be the Green Lantern's lantern.
Now, why did you choose Green Lantern?
Because to me, the Green Lantern works on a steampunk level because it's Will, and steampunk is really getting things to work that shouldn't work just through perseverance and strength of will. And so it really does work for him.
Nice. Well, you did an awesome job, Jeremy. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Okay, thanks.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Well, since the last time that we spoke, it's been pretty interesting going on, things going on in the video gaming world.
We got a few things to talk about this time around.
Just a couple. I'm really not going to go into E3 much because I'll wait for the studio to go back into doing stuff like that. But E3 was nothing short of monumental. Microsoft came out with their Xbox One, basically announced their features and everything that we talked about last month pretty much came to roost about the draconian DRM measures and everything else. And they came out with a price point of $499 for the system, which people were just going crazy over that. And
crazy good or
crazy bad. They have been getting slammed in the press ever since then. All Sony had to do basically at this press conference was, and this is what they basically said, is that our PlayStation 4, which is coming out at $399, so $100 less, will just basically act like the PlayStation 3 does. You know, you can go trade in your games, you can do whatever you can do now, and you'll be fine. And people went nuts. And so Microsoft was really sticking to their guns, and it looks like they were just aggravating and pissing off just about everyone here and there. The former head, I say former, I'll get into that in a minute, of the Xbox division, Don Matrick, actually did an interview with Jeff Keighley, basically saying for those people who couldn't be connected online all the time, they had a product, and it was the Xbox 360. And somebody had brought up and had asked him that, you know, they served on like a nuclear submarine, they wouldn't be able to play any like the new games like Halo and whatnot. And his response was, well, I wouldn't know what it would be to be on a nuclear submarine, but, you know, it's just the way it is. Well, apparently it's not just the way it is, because just a few weeks later, Microsoft did a complete 180 and decided that the Xbox One will now basically act like the Xbox 360. No more DRM. You can go in and trade in your games at GameStop. There's going to be no restrictions as to how it plays. And but to me, the damage
now, is it backward compatible?
It is not. It's not backwards compatible.
Any Xbox 360 games you have now, you won't be able to play them?
Right. The only thing so far, which we've already known with the PlayStation 4, is that while it's not backwards compatible per se, they have a cloud service which you'll be able to stream like older PlayStation games onto the service. But there is one thing that they've announced, which I think is a good idea. If there are games that you own on like the PlayStation Arcade or the PlayStation Plus or whatever you want, PlayStation Store. So say as an example, the Pinball Arcade, which, you know, I'll get into in a little bit, is on the PS3. If you own DLC and you own the Pinball Arcade and the PS3, you'll have to rebuy it for the PlayStation 4, but you'll be able to rebuy it at a discount. So, I mean, while it's not technically backwards compatible per se, that's still something that they didn't have to do. And that Sony offering to do something like that is a good gesture to the fans. It's going to be really interesting how it all shakes out. But we're not going to know for, a good 12 to 18 months, because, both systems will probably sell out at launch, but it's after that when you start trying to get the casual gamers in, and that's where you're going to really see, different philosophies and stuff play out. So we'll do more on that next month. Now, as you guys well know, and I've talked to these guys a little bit, I've been on pretty much a pinball kick lately.
He's a pinball wizard.
So
there has to be a twist.
I am absolutely loving the pinball arcade.
He's got a supple wrist.
Right. Well, at least you know that song. Who sings that?
Who? Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, Pinball Arcade, which is available for just about every system known to man, I've been playing like crazy on my iPad, and they have all sorts of different actual physical tables that they've recreated, from the 60s on up. And it's just really fun. You definitely got to check it out. But I've decided to. I had the opportunity to go up to a place called Lanes and Games, which is in Cambridge. It's a combination candlepin bowling / 10-pin bowling, but they also have an arcade there where the person who runs the place is a big pinball fanatic. So he has like 10 tables that are set up, and including some of the newest tables out like AC/DC and Metallica and Tron Legacy, which was really cool because it actually had a little mod inside where one of the holes that you shoot the pinball into was just like an old like plastic arcade game. And somebody did like a little Tron, and you can see it on the screen.
Yep.
It's a little Tron arcade game, and it actually has like the screen moving inside. But it's so fun playing an actual physical table, and it's like a dying breed. You really can't find pinball machines much lately around here, but we're fortunate enough that we have a bunch of places.
Action going. Yeah.
We have a bunch of places to go. So if you're up in Cambridge, I would definitely recommend going to Lanes and Games. And plus, right here in Rhode Island, and I didn't know this, we actually have what is supposedly the oldest penny operating still penny arcade in the country.
Now, see, I knew it because growing up in Northern Rhode Island, where it is, the Woonsocket, Burrville area, we used to go there all the time for the summer.
So it's called the Spring Lake Arcade.
Yep.
And it's been in continuous operation during the summer months since 1931. So I had the opportunity to go down, and they had a bunch of pinball machines, including a really, one of the first pinball machines, or what is ever considered a pinball machine, back from like 1931. Called Silver Cup, made by a company called Genco, which was really interesting, and it worked. It was like 5 cents. They have a bunch of machines there, actually 5 cents, 10 cents, even some penny machines. And the fact that they still work even decades after they were built and work pretty well was very interesting. So if you're ever up in the Glendale area, you definitely want to go check that out. And we are planning to make a road trip to the biggest pinball arcade in New England, which is in Pelham, called the Pinball Wizard Arcade. We're supposed to drag these guys up, and we're supposed to make a day out of it.
What is it, New Hampshire?
Pelham, New Hampshire. It's just over the Massachusetts border, so it's not too far. I was actually considering when I went up to Lanes and Games about going up there, but I wasn't going to have a lot of time. I'm kind of glad that I didn't, because I had so much fun at Lanes and Games with just 9 machines, and this place has like 130 machines.
Wow.
So it's going to be a little bit different.
People walking in there with like rolls of quarters in their pocket.
Right now we're planning to do a segment there, so we'll tape, so you'll get to see at the very least a little bit about what it's all about. And hopefully we'll have a lot of fun. And that's all I have.
Okay, good.
Join the Republic. We'll meet certain different. That is a promise.
All right, back here at ConnectiCon, one of the really cool things that I like about this pop culture event is they have a really, really nice video gaming contingent. ConnectiCon is especially known for its Japanese beat and music stuff. You can look behind me, you got all sorts of actual arcade machines set up, Dance Dance Revolution and Technica 3, and you got the Bimani, the drum set, and they do all sorts of tournaments and stuff here, in addition to a bunch of console gaming, like they're getting ready to do a Halo 4 free-for-all tournament. All sorts of wonderful things going on. And it's pretty busy over here, as you can see. You also got your standard console gaming. You have people playing old stuff from as far back as Super Nintendo and regular Nintendo, up until the latest stuff also. And one of the things that I think is extremely cool, near and dear to my heart, is they got a couple of rock bands set up over here in the corner. So as you can see, Rock Band is still going strong and it is not dying. So definitely a fun time if you're a video gamer here at ConnectiCon.
Hey, James here with NerdCaliber. NerdCaliber is at ConnectiCon. Tell me, what kind of conventions do you usually go to?
We go to mostly the fan conventions, sci-fi, anime, comic book. Anything dealing with nerdy, geeky stuff, we try to be there.
And I've seen your guys' work before. It's great seeing some of all the photos you guys take and the interviews and stuff you do. It's great. So tell me, how long have you been doing this?
This is my first time working with NerdCaliber, actually. I am a cosplayer, normally, Alyssa Beats cosplay, and NerdCaliber, especially Emmanuel, asked me to see if I wanted to try interviewing this time, and so I did, and I've been having a blast working with these guys. These guys are great, they're very accommodating, and the con itself is absolutely fantastic, and so yeah, not very long, but hopefully it will continue.
Great. Let's see, we've only been here for a couple hours, and I'm just really impressed by the crowd of people. Do you guys work small conventions or big conventions mostly? Or?
We go wherever. I've noticed that even with small conventions, there's always some great talent that's waiting there to be discovered. There's always what I like about going to all sorts of different conventions that you never know what you're going to see. There's always someone that has some sort of original idea of how to create something. And it's always satisfying going there. It's like, oh my gosh, this is awesome, and then, and helping them help promote their art online. And I feel that's a great honor.
And how long is you've been doing this as NerdCaliber?
It's been about 3 going on 4 years now. 4 years, yeah. We started at ConnectiCon back in 2010. Right, yeah. So about 3 years, 3.5. But, and since then, yeah, we've just been going strong. More we started obviously in the Northeast where we're based out of, and slowly spread out, and hopefully someday hit the penultimate of San Diego Con. that's the crown jewel, the Mount Mordor, or no, that's not right. But anyways, yeah, so just having fun interviewing other people having fun, and that's nothing better.
Great. Thank you very much. Have a great time.
You too.
All right, Toob News. Here we go. You ready? Are you still awake?
Oh, no.
You fell asleep a long time ago.
I passed out.
Okay, thanks. That's good to know. Semi-conscious Jay. Here we go. Marvel Comics. If you like Marvel Comics on TV, Disney XD has a bunch of new shows that are coming up. The Avengers Assemble on Sunday mornings. They have Ultimate Spider-Man on Sunday mornings. They have Hulk and the Agents of Smash, which is starting August 11th. It's like 5 different Hulks. There's the Green Hulk and the Red Hulk and a blue guy, and there's the She-Hulk and then somebody else. All these Hulks get together to fight the bad guys, and that starts August 11th. So Marvel cartoon comics on Disney XD Sunday mornings. Check that out. Other new shows for the fall 2013. Face Off is returning on August 13th at 9 p.m. on the Sci-Fi Channel. You like Face Off?
Yes, I do.
Yep, it's a good show. This year, they're combining some new contestants with returning contestants. So you've got old and new artists that are going to be coming back. That should be interesting. ABC has Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Tuesdays this fall. No specific date has been said yet. Agent Coulson from the movies. He died in the movie. They bring him back for the show. And then sometime during that series, they're going to explain how he was able to come back. So it does take place in the Avengers universe during that time period.
Post-Avengers.
Post-Avengers, yep. Once Upon a Time in Wonderland is a Once Upon a Time spin-off on ABC. So Alice in Wonderland Adventures will be coming to ABC. The CW has The Arrow coming back for season 2, and Tomorrow People starting Wednesday, October 9th. So watch for that. The Vampire Diaries is coming back starting October 10th. And then the spin-off of the Vampire Diaries called The Originals, which was an episode on Vampire Diaries, which takes place in New Orleans, and Supernatural are both coming back on the same night on October 15th. So that looks good for the CW.
Nice.
Fox has a show called Sleepy Hollow, based on the adventures of Ichabod Crane, on September 16th. There's also a show called Almost Human, November 4th, starring Carl Urban from Star Trek.
Really, Carl Urban on TV?
Yep, Carl Urban on TV.
Haven't really seen him since Xena on TV.
Well, he's coming back. Almost Human is a story about him and, I think, for lack of a better term, a cyborg or a replicant type cop type thing. So that's coming back. That's on Fox. And then see what else we got. NBC has a new Dracula series starring Jonathan Rhys Meyers of The Tudors, which is coming back Friday, October 25th. This is Dracula in the Victorian era.
Okay.
Okay, so that's when it takes place. Along with Grimm for season 3, which is coming, like I said, October 25th. And then Revolution returns Wednesday, September 25th at 8 p.m. I didn't think that show was going to last, but I guess it had enough viewers that it's coming back for a second season, which is cool. And then let's see, and then finally we're going to show you a picture of David Bradley as the first Doctor in the upcoming Doctor Who 50th special docudrama, An Adventure in Space and Time. It's like a docuseries of how Doctor Who was beginning to be broadcast in 1963, and it features David Bradley as the first Doctor, and also an actor who portrays the second Doctor shows up to it. And it's just a whole history type thing of how the series began.
It looks really good. He does really look, dressed as the first Doctor.
Yep.
Maybe a little thin in the face, but maybe that was television, adding 10 pounds to the face, originally.
Yep, but supposedly that's a really excellent docudrama series about the origins of Doctor Who, okay? And that's all we have this month for Toob News. Let's move on to some more footage from ConnectiCon 2013.
Anyway, we get the script, so of course I immediately opened it and started reading it. I was at home, and I got to the part where I drove the Enterprise. I'm like, oh my God, I get to drive the ship. Oh my God. Oh, now this all explains everything. This is why I got promoted. Remember when I got promoted, right? I thought that's why they made me a commander, because I get to drive the ship. Hey! So I called Michael Dorn, my best friend Dorney, and like, Dorney, I get to drive the ship. And he goes, have you finished the script? I said, no. Finish the script and call me back. So I finished the script, and I was really ticked off because of the history of who drove the Enterprise. Just think about it. The first person to drive was the blind guy. The next person to drive was the teenager, the child. And then, basically, when the child left, any chick in red who happened to be passing. It was like, here are the keys to the ship, drive the ship, and while you're down there, be nice to David, because he gets lonely on his own down there. And never a scratch on it. Until Troy got to drive. Well, excuse me, but that planet just came out of nowhere, okay? Ridiculous. And not only did I crash the ship then, but then I had to crash the ship again in Nemesis. Under orders. I was just following orders. Like a good Nazi, I was just following orders. Ridiculous. This is part of the sexism, in Hollywood, that it has to be a chick driving when the ship crashes, right? But there were certain things that, because we film, obviously I only go into work, well, all of us only go into work on the days that we're filming, that we're in the scenes. So there were, there are whole swathes of the movie that I haven't seen, that I know nothing about, because I wasn't there when they filmed it. So I remember the first time I saw Generations, I was actually in New York with Patrick. Okay, rephrase. Patrick and I were in New York together. Don't want to say I was with Patrick because he's getting married this year. Don't want to piss off the fiance. Okay. And we were just happened to be there at the same time. And he called me and he said, Marina, Paramount are having a screening. Would you like to come with me? And I was like, yeah. I mean, Patrick's one of those actors who won't talk about the movie until he's seen it. That doesn't apply to the rest of us. We go on all the talk shows, we talk about the movie, we've never seen it. That's why all those actors who go on these shows and they say, oh, it's the best movie ever, they haven't seen it. They're lying through their teeth. I mean, we even said that Insurrection was good, so, you know. I mean, I fell asleep, I think, at the premiere of Insurrection. Wake up, Marina, wake up. So anyway, we go to the Paramount building on Columbus Circle in New York, and it's very posh. There's a screening room with like armchairs, and there's a little table off to the side with like drinks and nibbly bits to eat. And so we're sitting there, and it got to the point where the Enterprise got nuked. And I actually went, and Patrick said, what's the matter, Marina? And I said, we're dead. We're dead, Patrick. In my head, oh my God, they've killed us off and they're going to continue the franchise with just Patrick. And then he goes, oh no, darling, don't you remember? I go back into the Nexus and save the universe. And I went, stupid me, how could I have forgotten? And that's what I found hysterical about Generations, was that we had these other really hunky guys on the crew, and at the end of the movie, it's the three grumpy old men fighting each other. In fact, I love the poster for Generations. It says, 2 captains, 1 destiny, right? I renamed the poster, 2 captains, 1 hairpiece.
Anime Daisuki time. First of all, we have Rurouni Kenshin gets 2 more live-action films for next summer release.
Who?
Rurouni Kenshin.
That's easy for you to say.
Some people just say Rurouni Kenshin.
Rurouni Kenshin.
But it's the first one did really well and last year, so they're going to do 2 more.
What's it about?
It's set in Kyoto. There's a whole story arc in Kyoto. And that's what they're going to use for that. Okay. The 35th anniversary of Gundam is coming up, and they're going to be finishing up Gundam UC, and they're going to start a TV show coming out this fall called Gundam Build Fighters.
That Gundam series never ends.
It's sort of a reality show of people who make models of Gundams. And I think they're trying to turn it into a little competition show. Who can make the best?
Oh, that's neat. They're going like that on Sci-Fi Journal coming up about cosplay.
Cosplayers, yeah. In fact, there's another show too, I think. One's a competition and the other one's not. It's just about like a documentary show about cosplayers. And there'll be a new Mobile Suit Gundam series and manga, anime series called The Origin. And they're kind of going back to the origins. Toshiyuki Yomino, what's his name? Yeah, Tomino Yoshiyuki is doing some stuff with that. Yeah. And also, there's a new website that you can watch anime streaming stuff called Daisuki.net.
Oh,
so yeah, they're stealing from my show here.
They took our name.
Daisuki.net.
Copyrights. Okay.
They don't have as many shows as Crunchyroll yet, but they are airing Gundam Z and Gundam ZZ or Double Z or Double Zeta. On that website. There's a documentary, and Jay will love this. There's a documentary about Studio Ghibli. Yep, right. It's called The Kingdom of Dreams and Madness. They're going to be following Hayao Miyazaki, Isao Takahata, and the producer Toshio Suzuki around as they're making these 2 newest films that they're working on. And this documentary is being shot right now, and it'll be out this fall. So that's going to be great to see, a real background and back behind the scenes at Studio Ghibli. And speaking of them, Kiki's Delivery Service has a live-action film that they're shooting.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
All right.
It's not.
It's okay.
Come on in.
Okay.
It's not being produced or anything by Studio Ghibli at all, but it is based on the original novel by Eiko Kadono of Kiki's Delivery Service. So if this film does well, maybe they'll work on the other 5 volumes of her novels that she did about Kiki. So it looks going to look really great. Gatchaman Crowds is the new anime about Gatchaman, the Battle for the Planets G-Force
Oh, all right.
group.
Okay.
It's a little bit different with the different characters, but it's going to be streaming on Crunchyroll starting in July, and the live-action film is coming in July also. So by the time you see this, it's already been out. Go back to Crunchyroll and you can watch it all.
See, I thought Gatchaman was based about a Jamaican police force.
Gotcha.
That live
Yeah.
action trailer for the movie was something else, though.
The live action?
The live action trailer for the Gatchaman movie.
That looks really good.
Very impressive.
Now, this new show that's been out in Japan, it's been very popular this season, called Attack on Titan. It's a story about these giants that appear and almost wipe out humanity. And the humans build these walls, a huge giant wall city to keep themselves safe. And after several hundred years, and they haven't seen a giant for like 100 years, all of a sudden a super giant appears and knocks down the wall, and then the other giants kind of invade.
I hate when that happens.
And these giants will eat people too. So this young man, Eren, vows revenge against these giants, these titans. So this has been a very popular series on Crunchyroll, and people here have been watching. On Toonami, Sword Art Online is coming in at the end of July, beginning of August. It's probably going to replace Eureka 7 as Eureka 7 finishes its season.
Okay.
Thundercats, they lost the license to air that, so that's being pulled.
Was that Cartoon Network?
No, that's Cartoon Toonami.
Okay.
Late Sunday morning,
Right.
early Sunday morning. I mean.
Does that run for 1 or 2 seasons? The newest
No,
one?
only one
It only
season,
ran for one
and
season.
they've been rerunning it, and there's no second season. It's been like on hiatus. So.
'Cause some of those episodes were really, really
They were
good.
great.
They were good
Some were
stuff.
homages too, like to Moby Dick and some
Yeah.
other stories.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, it's being replaced by a second season of Big O. So Big O second season, which I haven't seen yet, is going to be replacing it, and then again, Eureka 7's ending. Now I have one other thing here, which that's it for Anime Daisuki stuff, but. This one author who has passed away recently, Richard Matheson,
Yes.
who wrote many well-known stories in the science fiction world. Many were made into films, like I Am Legend.
Yep.
Another one, The Incredible Shrinking Man, and the story that became Time Somewhere in Time. One of the most romantic movies I've ever seen.
Christopher Reeve.
Christopher Reeve and Jane Seymour,
Yeah.
right? Somewhere in
That was a
Time.
pretty good movie.
Yeah, it was. It was awesome. And then What Dreams May Come. He also wrote that. So, which is also sort of autobiographical about him and his wife. So he passed away June 23rd, and a lot of people in Hollywood kind of mourned his passing. He was involved with several Star Trek episodes, and Kolchak. He also The Night Stalker.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So, and he did a lot of TV shows, scripts, things like that. So he passed away, and he's one of the better writers known for stuff that gets put into film or TV. Twilight Zones.
Yep.
Yeah. He wrote several of those. So that's it here for me.
Okay, good.
Mhm.
All right. Well, intro some more.
All right. So yeah, we're going back out to the floor, and we're going to
Maybe that one. We don't know
take
yet.
pictures. Next summer, if you miss ConnectiCon this summer, come next summer. There's lots of cosplay. There's lots of programming. There's masquerade and dances.
Lots of
and,
guest stars. Yep.
Yep. Voice actors here. It's incredible.
It's well worth your time.
Yeah. So we're going to end the show with some more ConnectiCon footage.
Yep.
James here with Neil Cicierega of the Potter Puppet Pals. Hi, Neil.
Hi. Hi, James.
One of the most popular characters is Snape. Severus Snape. And how did the whole concept of Potter Puppet Pals come to you?
Potter Puppet Pals was originally some basically doodles and little comics that my sister made. And I enjoyed them a lot, and I kind of thought I could voice these puppets, bringing them to life. Originally they were animations, then we decided to make real puppets and bring them to YouTube.
Like when they hit YouTube, how quickly did it get those hits?
A little slowly at first. They did all right, pretty well by YouTube standards. It wasn't until we made a video called Mysterious Ticking Noise, and that one just shot off like a rocket for some reason. I guess it's because it's catchy. People really like it.
Snape, Severus Snape. Yes, I know. I love that one. And this is Snape.
That's Snape.
Recently at MystiCon, there were a couple people who had made costumes, a life-size Snape and a life-size Voldemort. Those were great, and they were out on the dance floor at the ball. So, have you like? I know we are inspired by the Harry Potter books. How much do you think you might have inspired other people?
Inspired two other people? Yeah. I've definitely. People have been inspired. People have started their own puppet shows or YouTube series because of it, and they've told me. And I just received so much good feedback from these videos over the years. And sometimes I am told by people that I am one of the few things in the Harry Potter fandom that's still updating and still being created. So I do feel a little bit of pressure to to help Harry Potter fandom continue to exist by making these videos.
Oh yeah, we'll never die. We're going to keep going. Do you have anything new coming?
I'm always working on something new. I have a couple short Potter Puppet Pals videos that I'm working on. I'm working on an album of music. I've been publishing, music on the side for a long time, and I'm always trying to come up with weird things to post on the internet. It's just what I do.
Great, thank you very much.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to seeing you perform again, maybe at the Yule Ball this December.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And if you're touring, are you touring?
I don't have any plans to tour just yet, but Harry and the Potters are good friends of mine, and they love touring, so they just gotta ask me.
Yep, they're great. Yep. All right, thank you very much, Neil. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
What is that mysterious ticking noise? Not over here, not over there. Kind of catchy. Snipe, Snape, Severus Snape, 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 Severus Snape,
Dumbledore!
Snape, Severus Snape,
Dumbledore!
Snape, Severus Snape,
Dumbledore!
Snape, Severus Snape, 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 Severus Snape, Snape,
Hermione!
Severus Snape, Snape,
Hermione!
Severus Snape,
Dumbledore!
Harry Potter, Harry Potter, Severus, Harry Potter, Snape, Harry Potter, Harry Potter, Severus, Harry Potter, that's me, Snape, Harry, 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 Harry,
Dumbledore! Hermione!
Snape, Harry Potter, I'm Harry Potter, I'm Harry Potter, Harry Potter, singing our song all day long at Hogwarts.
I found the source of the ticking! It's a pipe bomb! Yeah!
Voldemort, Voldemort, ooh, Voldemort.
I don't know. As always, if you want to get in touch with us, our website is www.risfc.org. We also have Facebook pages, and we have a YouTube channel. If you can't catch us on Rhode Island Public Access, catch us on YouTube. or hello to all the people on Peg Media that watches as well. Okay, that's going to be it for this August 2013 edition of Sci-Fi Journal from ConnectiCon 2013. I'm Marc Morisseau.
Jay Kingston.
James Hinsey.
Calvin Watts III.
Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next month.